Last week we read the chapter from the text on remembering an event, including 4 sample stories. We also took a look at some student examples from GRCC, and you had the opportunity to comment on those essays on the discussion board. You also identified a couple of events you might write about and got feedback from your peers on which idea they liked best. Okay, now it's time to write. As we talked about in class, there are 10 guidelines for the Remembering an Event essay, and those are the criteria that will be used for your grade. As your instructor, I'll read your essay and provide feedback right on a copy of the document, which will be emailed to you. Now, here's information on each guideline. The first guideline is the essay length, and that's worth 15 points out of the 100 points for this essay. Your essay should be at least 3 pages, and by that we mean it has to come 2/3 of the way down page 3, not just a line or two at the top of page 3. And it has to follow MLA style. We discussed that last week, including a 12-point font with 1-inch margins. Remember that there's a detailed description of MLA style in your text, including a sample essay that's in perfect format. The Remembering an Event essay is about one event of significance in your life, and following that guideline is worth 10 points. It should be an event that occurs in 24 hours or less, not over a period of days. And it also has to be something that's really important to you. The way to structure this story is to write from the beginning to the end, and following that structure is worth 10 points. It's a story, so make it sound like a story. Start at the beginning, middle in the middle, and then get to the end. That's called chronological structure, as we talked about last week. Your comments about the event, how you feel about it, should come at the end of the essay, and following that structure is worth 10 points. Just tell what happened until the very end, and then you can talk about how you felt about it at the time and how you feel about it now. But keep all those comments pretty short, just 1 paragraph. Because this story is from your memory and it's all about you, write in the first person. Remember, that's using I, we, my, mine, us, ours. That's the first person, and that's worth 10 points. Because this event is from your past, write in the past tense. For example, I drove to school that morning. Staying in the past tense is worth 10 points. Because this story is all from your memory, there are no sources required. There will be sources required for some of the other stories, but not this one, so there's no point value for that item. You need to have a conversation in your Remembering an Event essay, and that's worth 10 points. That is, 2 people talking together. It could be you and someone else, or it could be 2 other people. A conversation is known as dialogue. Now, you don't have to quote exactly because this happened a long time ago, and so just do it to the best of your ability, remembering what people said. Try to use really vivid language, and that's worth 10 points. As we discussed, describe something rather than just say how you felt about it. Instead of saying, it was a beautiful sunset, write, the sunset threw streaks of orange, yellow, and red across the sky. Can you hear the difference? Describing rather than just an opinion? Write as clearly as you can, and that's worth 15 points. Here's a couple tips to help you write clearly. Read your work aloud to yourself and see where you kind of trip up. That probably needs a fix. Then read it aloud to someone else, a friend or a relative, and have them tell you what confused them. Your rough draft will be graded on grammar and punctuation, but not nearly as completely as your final draft. When you get your rough draft back from me, you'll have a chance to make corrections, so don't worry about it too much for the rough draft.